marketing. Today we're going to be looking at Chapter 3, Understanding the Market Environment. Now, we all know that we need to market our target audience. So let's look at some of the sources that you would derive some of that information from. I am on page 48 in your book, and I encourage you to please have your book in front of you as you review these lectures so that you can follow along with me in your textbooks, because the information is right there in front of you. Hopefully you've read chapters 1, 2, and 3 prior to coming on board with chapter 3. So sources of market environment information. There's going to be 3 primary sources. One is going to be internal, the second is secondary, and then of course we have primary. Now, internal information, if you're an establishment that's already up and running, your internal information is going to best come from your POS system, your point of sale system. Those systems are designed to collect all kinds of data. You would probably be surprised at what all they're collecting, from habits to what menu item is most popular, your profit loss, how many steaks sold on a Tuesday at 12 p.m., which employee clocked in and out on time. I mean, there's so much information that a POS can give you that will help you as far as your establishment goes, and the business and the maintenance of your establishment. Now, what is a good estimate of an operation's future daily sales? It's going to give you that. It can give you, are the operation's overall revenues increasing or decreasing? You're going to know that looking at a POS. You're going to be able to track your sales going up and down. What are the most popular menu items, like I just said? What's the least popular? I think you're getting the gist there. When is your operation most busy? These are things that the POS system will be able to tell you. If an establishment hasn't opened and doesn't have access to internal data, the manager will still have access to large amounts of information from both secondary and primary data. Now, your secondary data is going to come from an outside source, such as there in the book it tells you, like the restaurant, National Restaurant Association or the state restaurant associations. They collect information in our industry field. So if you are a new business starting up, you would be able to go to a place like that, and you can research some of the information there. Some other outside information sources would be like the census. We're fixing to do the census personally. Well, you can find the kudos of information on individuals there. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, Professional Association, private research firms. You can hire someone to do a research for you to let you know what is going on, and give you some information based on the findings there. Now, primary information can be internal or external, and usually primary information is gathered when you're wanting to solve some sort of business problem. You know, your sales aren't doing well, so you want to find out why. So you're going to actually, you'll form a group or a person, and you will gather information. You'll do some research, and then you will collect data. You'll analyze the data, and then you'll report the data, and then you'll take that information and you will correct whatever problem that you've got going on in your establishment. Now, the sources of information for that specific data can be taken in a multitude of ways. You can use statistic records, you can use surveys, you can do suggestion boxes, you can do cards, you can do interviews. There's a wide array of availability to collect that information that you need. Now, let's look at the current market conditions. I really want y'all to look at that because current market conditions, I mean, look at the market we're in right now with the COVID-19. Right now, people are not going out. They're not spending a lot of money because we're under a stay-at-home order. So you need to look at the market conditions. You need to look at what's going on to make some different decisions. So managers obtain information about their market environment from a variety of sources. Again, the economic environment, the legal environment, the vendor environment, the competitive environment. So those are some ways, some of the things that you need to analyze and look at. The economic environment is individuals in any operations target market must have buying power. Okay, the economic environment consists of those factors that directly affect the purchasing power and the spending habits of those in a target market. Look, right now, if you're opening a restaurant, you need to think about that. Let's talk about legal. We need to think, we're managers, you need to start thinking as a manager, there's also a legal environment. You need to think about the responsibilities you're going to have to those guests that you're targeting, that you're bringing in, that you're wanting to visit your establishment. Responsibilities related to serving foods. That's a legal environment or a legal thing you need to think about. Let's talk about serving alcohol. What is the legal ramifications if you serve alcohol in your establishment? Those are some things you need to think about when you talk about your target market and the environment that you're soliciting. The vendor environment. Are you going to offer something on your menu that you don't even have access to, that you can't get? Again, these environments are things that you need to think about. The competitive environment. To be fully successful, a restaurant or food service operation must meet the needs of its customers better than its competitors. So you need to know what your competitor is offering, what they're doing, so that you can do it better. You can meet and exceed your customers' expectations when they step into your establishment. So if you look down there, establishments that sell similar products and services, I want you to read those. Make sure you look over those. Other establishments that sell similar products but different service levels. Establishments that sell food regardless of the products they sell or service level. All right, you need to take a look at that. Also, let's talk about identifying target markets. All right. Identifying target markets, because that's really what, when we start talking about the 4 Ps and SWOT, you need to be able to identify your target market. All right. Chapter 1 defined a target market as those whose specific needs and wants a business seeks to meet. Again, your target market are those that you're reaching out to, that you want to advertise to solicit them to come and purchase your products or your service or whatever you're supplying. And then you want to meet their expectations. So that's going to be your target market. But how do you go about figuring out who that is? Mass marketing is the process of treating everyone in the market as having the same needs or wants. So, you know, we all get those packs of coupons in the mail, and they're addressed to everybody. I can't tell you how many times I open that up and I'm like, I don't buy this, I don't shop there. They didn't specifically target me. That was a mass marketing. Or let's think about the last time you went to the grocery store and they printed out some receipts for you, okay? And those receipts are totally not for the items that you buy. They're just mass marketing that. That's for everybody, okay? Now, target marketing is going to treat people, all right? And I'm right there in the middle of page 61. Treat people as different from each other and seeks to make a focused appeal to the distinct portion of potential customers that make up the establishment's target market. In other words, you're going to solicit those individuals specifically that are going to come into your establishment, and you're going to meet that need specifically. Now, what does that mean? That means that if you are in a big city, let's say New York, and you're a high-end, fine dining French restaurant, first your location is going to be someplace like Atlanta, New York, or something like that. If your covers are $200 or your meal is high end, expensive, you've got expensive wine, top rate service, you're not going to target people in let's say the backwoods of nowhere, okay? Because I mean you're just not going to. And at the risk of sounding judgmental, in some respect, we have to differentiate people based on different lines, okay? If I'm honest and real with you, you would not put an upscale restaurant in an area that no one in that area is going to come to your restaurant and spend high-end dollars on your high-end meals. So in some sense, we do have to, and forgive me, at the risk of being slightly judgmental, we have to be smart about who we're targeting, why we're targeting, and you know, there's certain demographics to that as well. So I want you, I love the example there. For example, if an establishment is located in a major city where the large numbers are relatively wealthy, and again, not judgmental, but they're wealthy. They have a lot of disposable income, with a variety of taste. With disposable income comes well-traveled, or sometimes comes luxury of trying things that otherwise you wouldn't try because you're able to spend the money to do that. You're able to spend the money to go places and to be exposed to things that otherwise you may not be. In dining, an operation targeting wealthy customers who like French food and formal service makes good sense. That's what I just said, right? Makes good sense. You would not put this type of establishment in an area where no one could afford the food. That would not make sense. And if you're this type of establishment, you would want to be selective as to who you target. All right. Now, let's go ahead and move over to page 63. Let's take a look at demographics. Now, I've got a note here for Evans. If I were to open a patisserie, and which I don't know if y'all know this, but my background is baking and pastry, so my dream establishment would be a patisserie here in Augusta. Now, in the Augusta area, if I were to open an establishment of this nature, obviously, high-end French pastries would require a certain demographic. Not everybody's going to be able to walk in and afford the type of pastries that I would potentially sell. So I would have to pick a location that would better market the product that I'm selling. So I definitely have a note here, Evans. But there's several. Location is only one way of determining your market. There's age, education, ethnicity, geography, home ownership, household size. Why would home ownership fall in there? Because people who own a home, they're established. They're not moving. They're not transient. They're here. They're staying. So a lot of this, when you look at it, it starts making sense. Occupation, stage and family lifestyle. Let's think about that. Again, I used this in the last chapter. If you are a Chuck E. Cheese, then you would solicit families, couples with children. That's the stage of lifestyle you're in. You wouldn't be soliciting someone like me who's, my children's grown and gone, and now you may. I would take my grandchildren. They love Chuck E. Cheese. However, typically, persons of my age group would not be visiting Chuck E. Cheese. So those are things to think about. Psychographics. What is psychographics? Psychographics is likes and dislikes. You would target people based on their hobbies, their activities, how they buy. Do they spend money on luxury? Do they love to hike? Do they? I mean, you know, if do they love to fish? If you're a bar and grill and or you're a sports bar and grill, you would market based on psychographics, people who love sports. So I think you can kind of get the gist of that. Lifestyle is a pattern in which people live and spend their time and money. You can actually market that, okay? That can be part of your target market. Serving the target market. Once a manager has identified the target customer base, he or she will want to learn why their customers may want to visit the operation. You want to know what brings your customers in. Who are they sharing with? Do they like being there? Do they love it? Are they sharing it with their friends and family? Customer loyalty, you know, I've always had this saying that if something looks great, your customer's going to try it. If it tastes great, you've got a repeat customer. If they keep coming back, you've got customer loyalty. So again, understanding all of this is very important so that you can target effectively those that you want to come into your establishment and those who are going to get their needs met within your establishment. I want to talk a little bit about let me pull it out here, about our project at this point, because you do need to start thinking about your executive summary, okay? Your executive summary in day one, hopefully you've printed your little form that tells you exactly what I am expecting on your final project. You can turn this into me anyway. I want each of the drafts individually pieced apart from each other. The first one is your 4 P's of marketing, your product. You need to be thinking about what your fantasy establishment is and what type of product you're going to be selling. That's really all I am looking for. I had someone ask, am I going to grade extensively? I want you to understand that I just want you to give me the information I'm asking for. I'm not looking for a lot of fluff. If you are a fluffy person, I know I am. I love to add pictures and all this kind of stuff into my work. That's great. I would love to see the picture thoughts of your establishment, but I am looking for those basics, so make sure to send me those basics. The 4 P's product, I want you to think about what you are selling. What are you selling to your customers, the service and the product? What are you giving your customers in return for their hard-earned cash? I want you to think about that. If you don't know what your product is, then it's going to be hard to determine who your target market is. Okay? Place, where are you going to be selling this? Is it going to be in Evans? Is it going to be downtown Augusta? You need to think about where. Is it going to be a food truck that travels around? Is it going to be a bar and grill down on the beach? I mean, it doesn't matter. You need to determine what you're selling, what type of audience you're selling it to, where you're going to sell it, what's your price point. And I want you guys to make sure your price point is on target, okay? Don't tell me you're going to sell a burger for $25 and it not be a gourmet burger with some Wagyu beef in it, okay? So make sure your menu items and your price is on point. Promotion, you need to start thinking about how are you going to promote either a menu item or promote your business. I'll take either or. You can promote one of your menu items, do a special, a BOGO or something like that, or you can promote your business. I'll go either way with that, okay? You also need to be thinking about SWOT. That's a little bit down the road, but I want you to start thinking about SWOT. That's your strengths, weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. You also want to think about a social media promotion and how your marketing activity schedule, like 30 days before, you're going to do such and such, and 30 days after, how are you going to measurably look at that and make changes based on that? You've got to have some sort of measurable accountability there. So again, make sure you're looking at your final project. Make sure that you turn in your information in. And at this point, I'm going to close today's lecture. Do make sure that you are doing the review your learnings in the back and submitting those into me. The instructions are there in Moodle. Make sure you're clicking on all those links, and most importantly, each and every day, make sure you're answering that daily case study question. That is how I am determining your attendance in this class. So I need you to click on that and make sure you reply to that question. I am here for you. If you have any difficulties with anything, please, please, please reach out to me. I am on campus from 10 to 2 every single day. If we need to schedule a meeting, we can. I'm not opposed to that as long as you're not running a fever or been diagnosed with COVID-19 or anything like that. We can practice social distancing while we meet with each other. The school computer lab is open if you're having a hard time printing assignments or anything like that. Again, thank you so much. I appreciate you joining Chapter 3 lesson, and I will see you for Chapter 4. Bye-bye.